he has to attend to the business of created things. What does that mean? It's not only signing the official papers. It's not only signing the official papers as a king. Business of created things. There is a greater issue, greater problem, greater dilemma in front of us, we small little people. And that is concerned with the business of created things, which is again linked up with the Twixt. You see, they're all interlinked. This Twixt and the business of created things, they're interlinked. Ashwapati is a yogi, a spiritual person of extremely high attainments. Nothing can disturb him. He has to, of course, attend to the business of signing official papers, etc., etc. is all right. You see, that is a relatively small matter. But now, as a yogi, the Lord of Life, he has to produce a child. Otherwise, how can the boon get fulfilled? One shall descend. She is not going to come just like that. She is not. It cannot just happen like that. She is not going to materialize and be here. If she is going to materialize here just like that, it's a meaningless materialization. It is not a product of something rising up from above, from below. She has to pass the portals of the birth, that is the death. She must take the mortal birth. That cannot happen unless this yogi gets engaged in a sex act. Sex is tabooed in our spiritual life. Now, what happens to this man, this yogi? It is a kind of a contradiction. He has to engage himself in that. There is no other way at all. What does that mean? A yogi can employ every means which is available in nature here for his purpose. Every means which is available for his purpose, he can employ in nature. But that does not mean that he succumbs himself to nature. He is not subject to nature, but as a master, he can employ the yogic, the means which the nature has provided to him. He cannot stop it. You can still master and do it here. Now, only one who is above nature can employ nature for his purpose. One who is above nature can employ. Lord of Life, he employs. There is nothing taboo for him in that sense. He is not subject to nature. He is not indulging in sex act. He is using it as necessary means for a certain purpose. If she has to come down, she has to be brought down in that manner only. She must engage himself in the sex act. And then only you rise to the birth of a child. Otherwise, how will Savitri take the birth? In that sense, the business of created things becomes quite important. As a yogi, not subject to nature, not subject to nature, business of created things, as a yogi, any means which is available for nature can be exploited by the yogi for his divine purpose. Today, that is the only method available for bringing into birth a soul. Tomorrow something may happen, that's a matter of tomorrow, but today he has to engage himself in that, you see. So now this would become a contradiction again in the philosophy, in the practices recommended by Shivantu. How can you engage yourself in a sex act? How can you engage yourself in a sex act? But that is a necessity for a certain purpose, because you're standing above nature, you're not subject to nature. You have to eat food. Well, that is a necessity by which you can carry on things forward. Tomorrow, divine being, divine Purusha, divine man who will come here, the pioneers were there, the Gnostic being, he will have a different kind of a food. That is a different thing, that is for tomorrow. But today, you have to go adopt the means which are available to you through nature, yet without getting subject to nature. That is the mastery. That is the real mastery. That is the real yoga siddhi. That is the true meaning of attending to created things, business of created things. Yet there is one more issue. All right, the yogi engages himself in a sex act. Without that, the child cannot be born. You see, she has gone back. There is a divine stir in the spaces. The lion is there. She is entering into mortal creation. But that mortal creation must be received physically in the earth. That is what the sex act of Ashwapati would mean, you see. That is what it would mean. The dilemma is, all right, he engages himself in that way, but what is the guarantee that through the sex act only a girl will be born and not a boy? All right, he is submitting himself to that, but what guarantee, what surety that the act will produce only a girl? The sperm and the egg join, this chromosome, that chromosome, etc. They combine, and then they give rise to birth of a girl or a boy. What is governed through the methods of science is a chance. If X chromosome meets this egg, then a girl will be born. If Y, then a boy will be born. Now, what is the guarantee that X will meet or Y will meet and produce a girl or a boy? Science cannot define that thing at all. It says if this happens, then this will be girl. If this happens, this will be boy. That is all it can say. So there is a kind of 50-50 chance. It can be a girl, it can be a boy. So although you are engaging yourself in a sex act, still that issue of a specificity of a girl being born remains unanswered if you go by the theories of science. By the theories of science. Is it entirely governed? Is it a chance that our appearance here, is it a chance, coincidence that I am born as a girl or a boy? Is it by chance? That will be very, very demeaning to me that, that I am born as a boy or as a girl. I must be able to say that, yes, I want to be born as a boy. I want to be born as a girl. Yes, what will happen is the birth of a boy, is the birth of a girl. Then there is a firm assertion in that, and then there is a kind of a complete. Science is not in a position to say anything specifically about this, that it is going to be the birth of a girl, you know, 50-50, you toss 100 coins, 50 of the coins will show head up, 50 of the coins will show tail up. I mean, this is not how I am being born. You see, I mean, it is not really very compatible with my demand. I want to be so, you see. Or you take 100 coins and toss them up at once. You see 50 coins with head up, 50 coins with tail, tail up, you see. It's not that. It's not. So, there is something more than that. When she says, one shall descend, I shall come, there is a kind of an occult imposition of what is going to happen. Yes, it will be a curse. That is what the occult imposition says, asserts. In other words, if the parents are sufficiently strong, sufficiently brave, sufficiently conscious of certain things, they can determine whether it is going to be a boy or a girl. They can determine it. That is the possibility of yourself offering. So the whole complexity of business of created things is really quite difficult. It is fixed the breeding brain, causes to the breeding brain. It is not by chance but by a certain kind of occult determination that the result is fixed, determined. It will be this or it will be that. There we are, the meeting is over, the minutes have been drafted and passed. The operative clause in the divine is living form of hers to the mortal world. Fate shall be changed by her coming, changing by an unchanging will. This will happen in the Des Tremendous hour. That is the text. That is what we have seen super. But in the expectation of it, there had to enter in the human aspects. All this will happen. But again, it has to happen in the world of men, of the mortal, you see, in the human process as well, human instrumentation as things had to happen in the human world. You have determined something, but then ultimately they should get translated here in the human way. It is that human process which will make it contextual, make it relevant, true and substantial, is functioning participative and meaningful for the human advancement of the spirit world path. This birth of hers will happen, has to happen only through the process of nature as is operational at present. This birth has to happen as it is present. Only through it and not through any other occult mechanism, if at all there is any. It is not going to be a virgin conception. Christ was born, but that is wrong. It is meaningless. You knock off the meaning of his avatarhood by talking of his virgin birth. You knock off the meaning of Christ's avatarhood. To be a virgin, it has to be through the standard process of sex and reproduction. That is the single way for it to happen. It is in it also the mystery of birth, or the soul taking a physical body that is needed for the incarnation in a human intermediary. Okay, Yogi Ashwapati will just give some of these things. See, he was saying, coming and divine in a human body, incarnate the white passion of thy force, mission to earth, some living. This is what we are saying. This is what was his prayer. Did he anticipate such a situation that he will have to perform a sex act when he's praying for that? Incarnation cannot be without the recognition of the human process. That is important. Without passing through it, without the sex act coming into play. The undeniable fact is Savitri of the epic Savitri is the incarnation of the divine goddess, and her birth has to be through a sex act. She has to pass through the portals of the birth, that is the death. There is no escape from it. So the first puzzle or dilemma is a yogi getting engaged in a necessary sex act. But will Savitri's birth be determined by chance? There is, of course, the necessity of her birth that will rob the entire meaning of existence of the spirit and the urge to splendidly marry Shyam. Chance, that doesn't appeal at all, you see. It will rob of the entire meaning. The whole meaning of Ashwapati doing this tapasya and ultimately leaving to chance, then what is the mastery is one? Nothing. If you want a baby girl, have sex, or figuratively speaking, make love on a full moon night. That is the common belief passed on from generation to generation by old women in the case of a baby girl. Genetics says the sperm with X chromosome or female chromosome has a longer life than this male sperm but exhibits decreased motility. Therefore, intercourse that takes place earlier may provide increased probability of a baby girl. Well, that is what the genetics is.
It's not a chance. It's the will of the author. The author decide that.
Now we are coming to that. In the case of incarnation, it is certainly not the flip of a coin. In the case of incarnation, it is not by chance that the things are determined. When the avatar takes birth, he comes with that specificity. It is not. It is certainly not the flip of a coin. There are other factors, other deeper verities, other weighty experiences and certainty that exist. The mother explains. Now, this is what we are coming to. This is important thing about the occult part. In the incarnation, if the incarnation takes place at the conception, the whole formation of the child to be born is directed and governed by the consciousness which is governed to incarnate, is going to incarnate, takes place at the whole formation of the child to be born is directed and governed by the consciousness which is going to incarnate. So, in the born, it is already kind of fixed that at the time of incarnation, it is that consciousness which is going to determine this male sex or female sex, whether it is going to be a baby girl, baby or a boy, baby girl or a baby boy. See, it is already fixed in that consciousness. The choice of the elements, the attraction of the substances, a choice of the forces, and even the substance of the matter which is assimilated, it is already a selection. There is already a selection. When the incarnation takes place at the time of conception, everything is already kind of fixed up. And this naturally creates altogether special conditions for the formation of the body, which may already be fairly developed. The body of the incarnation, of the person getting incarnated, his body is already fixed before he is born. Before it comes into existence, the body is already fixed in the occult way. There is already a selection, and this naturally creates altogether special conditions. It creates special conditions for the formation of the body. It's not only male or female sex, but even the kind of body which will be formed for the incarnating power is fixed at that time. For the formation of the body, which may already be fairly developed, a world harmonized before the birth. Before the birth, the body is already formed, harmonized. Now, and this is naturally for the formation already developed before you. I must say that this is quite exceptional, but still it does happen. This is what the mother says about the incarnation. Whether it's going to be a boy or a girl, it's already fixed. Not only boy or girl, but even the physical body, the kind of body with which he will come, is already fixed in the opposite way. Totally, you see. Quite excellent, but still it does happen. Now, this is important. What are the special conditions for the formation of the body? Around 1949, when things were becoming difficult, 1949, when things were becoming difficult, the mother and Sri Aurobindo, they are reviewing the whole situation. And at the time, Sri Aurobindo said, one of us may have to go. One of us may have to go in 1949. One of us will have to leave. The mother said, yes, I am there to go. I am ready to go. First, Sri Aurobindo says, one of us may have to go. She says, yes, I will go. He wanted as if her to say that. And then he says, no, you cannot go. You will stay back and do our work of supramental descent and transformation. He knew it that still he said one of us has to go. But he wants her to come out and say that. And then he says, you'll have to stay back to do our work of supramental descent and transformation. And the matter was closed. Then, of course, the tremendous hour, 5th December 1950, 1:25 a.m. that arrived and things happened. One of us had to go. It happened. Why? Sri Aurobindo said, no, you'll have to stay back. He said that your body is better prepared for the physical transformation than mine. Your body is better prepared, is more ready. Special conditions for the formation of the body, they were very, very special in the case of the mother, which was not so in the case of Sri Aurobindo. She had chosen her parents before taking birth, and then she was there. You see. Special conditions for the formation of the body, that is important. You see. I must say that this is quite exceptional. It does not happen even in the case of Sri Aurobindo. It is absolutely exceptional in the case of the mother. Still, it does happen. It did happen. And the work was done. So, that is the business of created things. And twixt the pauses of the building brain, all these things happen.